Managing money is one of those things that almost everyone knows is important, but no one ever actually does it properly. That's why in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the 7 essential rules of personal finance for you to follow in the future. These are the building blocks of wealth, and they'll help you to build and grow your money over time and reduce your debts long term. And if you stick around to the end, I'll reveal the one that's most important that most people forget about and actually leaves people with the least amount of money if they don't do this. Rule number 1 is spending less than you earn. The problem with most people is what they do is they get a pay rise, they earn more money, they have a side hustle that brings them more income, and what they then do is they change their lifestyle to suit that extra income. So they buy a new car, they might be able to afford a new house, go out and spend more money with their friends and family, which is great. However, it actually leaves you with less money than what you would have had on your lower salary. So it's really important that as your salary goes up, you try not to change your lifestyle. Now, that's not saying that you shouldn't go out and enjoy yourself a little bit more, and you're absolutely entitled to do so because you deserve and you've earned it. However, it's really important that what you do is you don't increase your lifestyle too far so you're actually spending more than you were doing before. So firstly, track all of your income and expenditure that you've got, work out how much additional income you're going to be generating, and then work out where you want to split that additional income, whether it is a little bit towards daily spending and going out and a little bit towards pensions and savings long term. For example, if you're earning $4,000 a month and you're spending $4,200, then obviously you're going to be losing money every month, and that's going to get you more into debt. So therefore, going through those expenses, cutting out $200 worth of expenses will put you back on track to break even. And if you can go even further than that and actually save more money than you're earning, then that's been better. The second rule is making sure that you pay yourself first. Most people tend to save after they spent all their money. So what they actually do is they spend all the money throughout the month, and then whatever they've got left is what they save. However, what you should actually be doing is saving first, making sure you're providing for your future and making your money work for you first before you're spending. So save what you want to save and then spend whatever you have left in the excess. And if it means you might not be able to go out once in a month because you haven't got enough money, then that's what you should be doing. So here's how it works practically. And what this means is that as soon as your money hits your bank, what you should be doing is setting up automatic transfers to save set amounts that you decide per month into your savings account. And then whatever you have left, you can split between your regular bills that you have, such as cars, mortgages, etc. And then you have the rest to spend for whatever you want throughout the month, knowing that you've already saved at the start of the month. For example, someone who earns $3,500 and saves 15% over 10 years will easily have over $100,000 at the end of that time, and that's before accounting for additional interest, and that's before accounting for any investments and growth that you will have from those investments. And even better, treat your savings like it's an invoice, like it's a bill. So you wouldn't skip any of your mortgage payments or your electricity and gas bills. So make sure you treat your savings the same, making sure that you hit those goals and those targets every single month. Rule number 3 is avoiding bad debt. There's good debt and there's bad debt. So things such as good debt might be things such as student loans because you've been to university, or it might be your house and your mortgage because you want somewhere to live. However, there's also many more bad debts. There's often more bad debt than good debt, and these include things such as credit cards, payday loans, and car finance. Credit cards often charge 20% plus in interest every single year. So what this means is that if you have a £5,000 debt and you only pay off the minimum payments per month, it can take you years and years and years to pay off the debt, because your minimum payment isn't even covering the interest that they're adding on to the charge every single month. So the rule of thumb is that if the debt doesn't make you money, such as your house, i.e. your house goes up in value, so whilst you've got the debt, you're also in theory making some money, then I would avoid it as much as you possibly can. And if you've got interest payments and you've got debt on things such as credit cards, make sure that you always clear the maximum amount that you possibly can every month. And in theory, what you should be doing is clearing those balances in full to ensure that they don't accumulate any interest and you're not spending more than you can afford. Rule number 4 is building an emergency fund. One of the fastest ways that people fall into debt nowadays is that they overspend every single month. What this can mean is that, for example, your car breaks down, or you might find that you've lost your job, or you need to have additional expenses, but people don't have the money saved to account for those unexpected costs that may arise. So it's really important that you have a buffer, an amount set aside in the bank. It's not invested in stocks and shares, it's held in cash in the bank so that you have it available if you have any unexpected bills. And as a general rule, if your monthly expenses are around £2,000, for example, then I would make sure that you've got at least 3 months of expenses covered in an emergency fund, so £6,000 in this example, so that you're covered for any unexpected eventualities. And ideally, don't keep checking it, leaving it in account, make sure it's earning interest, and make sure you're not drawing from it every single month, so it just sits there in case you ever need it. And even if you only save £25 a week, that's over £1,300 per year, so it's important that you start small, not thinking that you need to be saving hundreds of pounds every single month. Save what you can and it'll build up over time. Rule number 5 is investing early and consistently. Investments are really where you build your wealth, because whilst you can earn interest in the bank, inflation is often greater than that, so you're actually losing money. Whereas you earn much more through stocks and shares and investments in the long term through compound interest. If you saved $300 at the age of 25 per month, by 65 and at 7% annual interest, you would have over $700,000 saved, which is a crazy number to think about. And I know it's such a long way away thinking that you're going to have to save $300 consistently over 40 years. However, if you set up automatic standing orders to send that money to your investment account, it does it automatically. You won't even know it's doing it, and you'll thank yourself in the long term. And if in the same example you started at 35, you would only have just over $300,000. So time is so important. Those extra 10 years over double the amount you would have by the age of 65. So it's super important that you start early, even if it's small amounts, $10, $20, $30 per month. Do what you can, do what you can afford, save early and save consistently. And where should you invest those? You should be investing in things such as the S&P 500, the FTSE 100, global index funds, whether it's UK or US or global areas, and making sure that you've got a diversified portfolio so that you're spreading your risk and there's low chance of your money ever going down. And if you're more advanced, then you should be investing in things such as real estate and dividend stocks, where you're getting a dividend from those stocks and shares every single month, which gets you more income. Rule number 6 is actually diversifying your income. Most people rely on their full-time paycheck. It's the only income they receive every single month. However, it's risky and you can lose your job, and if you don't have an emergency fund, you've got no backup available. So you should be aiming to build 2, 3 or 4 multiple income streams to be able to supplement your full-time paycheck. And this doesn't mean that you have to juggle 3, 4, 5 jobs at the same time. There are so many other ways that you can do this. And it could be things such as starting a side hustle, getting rental property so you've got rental income, starting a joint venture business with somebody else, and even just posting on YouTube so that you can get AdSense and brand deals through your content that you're producing. And if you're earning $4,000 per month from your usual job and you can generate $500 from a side hustle, that's 12.5% additional money per year, which is super important, and that can help you out in so many eventualities going forward. A lot of wealthy people don't just rely on one source of income, they'll always have multiple sources of income. So it's really important that you try and do the same from an early age. And rule number 7, which I said at the start, is something that people always forget, and it's making sure that you always keep learning every single day. There's always new rules on tax, money, new legislation coming out, increased taxes in certain countries, and it's really important that you don't forget how to learn the most efficient tax rules that you can. Investing in financial education is super important because it's the one thing that people can't take away from you. There are so many books that you can read on how to diversify your own portfolio of investments, how you can start businesses. There's YouTube videos out there on how to do that as well. And also things such as learning how to negotiate for a pay rise or negotiating a deal, reducing your expenses. There's so many ways that you can do this, making sure that you're learning the skills on how to earn additional money and save more. And it compounds just the same way as your money does. The more you learn, the more you should earn. So as a quick recap, here are the 7 things that we've been over just now. Number 1 is spend less than you earn. Number 2 was making sure that you pay yourself first. Number 3 is making sure that you're avoiding bad debts. Number 4 is building an emergency fund. Number 5 is investing early and consistently. Number 6 is diversifying your income and creating additional income. And number 7 is making sure that you keep on learning always. And the truth is that earning more money and saving more isn't just about luck. It's learning about the tricks and the skills that you can do in order to make that happen. So hopefully you got some value from this, and you can set some rules for yourself to follow in order to generate more income and learn more in the future.